So I've been called out to this little job here where someone has fitted a downstairs toilet area in an office block. They fitted it and disappeared off the face of the earth. Now, there's an issue with this basin. I'll open it up and show you. Behind here, I mean, the pipe work is not great as it is, but I'm not here to sort that out. I've got a leak behind the back here. Whoever's done it has done it, bodged it in by the sounds of it and just disappeared. So no one can get hold of him. The customer can't get hold of him to sort this out. This was done probably 3 months ago and he's just disappeared. So at the minute I've got it turned off, but when the sink is run down the back there, right at the bottom, it starts leaking and it's leaked all out onto the floor. So we're inheriting someone else's bad workmanship on this one. What we're going to do is get the water off, get this sink unit out, get this unit out and see what we can find behind the back of here that's causing it to leak. So with the water off, we'll just disconnect the hot and colds. In fact, I better mark them up because I don't think they are. So I think that's the hot. We go hot and go cold. So with them disconnected, we'll get the waste off. Then if we just cut around the outside of the silicone, I'm thinking this basin is just going to lift out with a bit of, yeah, there we go. So with the top off, we'll just get these two screws holding it back to the wall, get these out and get this unit out of the way. So jobs like this and workmanship like this is what gives tradespeople a bad name. Just take a look at the state of this behind that unit. I mean, look at that. Propped up with a bit of wood. Gunked in there. I assume that's the condenser in the boiler. Wow. Not good at all. So now with all of that taken out, I can explain to you exactly what the problem was. With the basin off, so there's water up to these 2 points, there's not an issue. As soon as that basin started to be run and used, obviously water was coming down here, but was coming out the bottom there. So I can't really see what is the other side of there. So the unit comes to here. So what I'm gonna have to do is cut this tile down there. This is all gonna be beyond the unit anyway, but it's cut this tile here and expose what we've got behind here, because I think there's gonna be an issue with the waste pipe or something. So with part of that tile from the front, enough for me to get my arms in, I can see exactly what the problem is. Let me show you. So if you look under there, you see just there on that elbow, the fitting has cracked, but I'm not sure. Hopefully, oh no, is it cut all the way through? It might be. It might be cut all the way through. So what I think we're gonna have to do is maybe even expose across there and down, so I've got a load of room to get onto it, because I think where the elbow's gone onto the pipe, I think there's an issue with the pipe there as well. So let's get all this cut out and see what we can do. I just tried to ease that condense pipe or overflow pipe out of that, and it's just snapped off. As I showed you up there before, that was the issue, but it was that brittle, it's just come off, but it's not even glued into there. So hopefully we can reuse that. That seems pretty solid, bar for that little bit coming out there, but the issue is we've got to somehow get onto this T. So we've got to try and get this out without, I was hoping it was just going to pull out that T, but we'll see what we can do. So I'm hoping this core bit is going to do the trick to allow us to get into a bit of a fitting into this T. Now, I've snapped it off, or I've got out as much as I can, but there's still a little bit of pipe work in. So I'm hoping, if I put that into place, I can show you, is that we can get that and just drill down and allow us a little bit of room in there to get a bit of pipe to come off there, across, and refeed this basin. But I don't know how easy it's going to be, because I'm not sure we can get a drill in. And there'll probably be loads of people saying, why don't you just cut the T back, put another T in, go into that stack. But we all know that that stack, getting onto the end of that pipe that is originally into that stack, just kicks another big can of worms. You'll pull that out, it won't seal. So I'm going to try this way first. Hopefully, touch wood, it works. Right, we've had a little bit of luck, touch wood, hopefully. So I've noticed, let me show you. So you can see the T going to the right through the wall and then into that stack there. Now, I naturally thought there was something the other side of there, so thought I'd just check, had a bit of a look around a few of the rooms, and it's just a cap the other side of this room. I can't show you what's in there for certain reasons, but there's just a cap in the wall. So that tells me that that can just come out of there into an elbow, and we can come straight back into there. So that has saved a lot of messing around. So let's get this cut out and we can work from there. I'll have to cut it off again there to have the room to get it out. So with that T cut out now, what I'm going to do is pop a coupler on that pipe, get an elbow on there, and then it'll bring our pipe out here. Then I can cut this condenser pipe off, reconnect it in, and do everything from here. But it just gets us out of that tight little space in there to here. So we have to start getting the waste pipes in. So first of all, I'll just cut the 1.5 inches down to size, and also we need to get the adapter in the top for the overflow pipe to go in. So we put that in, and also put 1.25 inches to 1.5 inches, or 1.5 inches to 1.25 inches reducer in the end of it, because we're going to come off 1.25 inches up to feed the basin. So that's that reducer going in, and then we'll just put a little bit of 1.25 inches coming along with an elbow up, and then when we put the unit in place, that'll be in the perfect position. So that's that waste pipe in now. We've reconnected. I think that is off the air conditioning machine, because the boiler is over the other side of the building, so that's probably off an aircon machine, but we've reconnected it anyway. Got the 1.5 inches around there, reduced down to 1.25 inches, obviously for the basin. These are isolated up here, so we're just going to reconnect back onto them. Otherwise, we've got to shut all the water off now. I don't think I've said, but this is a car body repair place, and they need the water on constantly to keep certain paints running and machines running and whatnot. So we can't really turn the water off. So it is what it is. Again, I was just basically here to put this leak right. So we get the unit back in, get the sink back on the top, get it connected up, test it, and make sure all is good.
When I'm buying a car, there's a whole bunch of extra things that I'm looking for in a car. Whether that's a GTS. The danger that the traditional brands have is that they've lived on and basically relied on them.
So we're all done, connected underneath there. I said I was just going to connect back onto them. Waste's all good, all tucked down the back. I've had it on, tested it, all is good. So I'm just going to seal around the basin now, get it all finished off, get it neat and tidy, and then they can finally have this little toilet area back, because they haven't been able to use it since this started playing up. So yeah, but there you go, road tradesmen, there's plenty of them out there. If you do a job for someone and there's an issue with it afterwards, answer the phone, come and put it right. This guy hasn't, that's why they got me in to do it, but there's just to be honest, there is too many people like that out and about. I've come across it, I'm sure people who are watching this have come across road trades people out there, but we try and do what we can. But yeah, we'll get it all sealed up and job done. So I've just swung over to Caffeine and Machine. This is the place I come to do all the editing for my videos. A, because it's just a cool place to be. B, being a massive car guy, it's just full of cars constantly. But the owner, Phil and Dan, I do work for them. I do Phil's plumbing, I do Dan's plumbing. But what they want to do here is do a bit of a renovation on the front. You see this window here? This window leads into their shop, their merchandise shop. Now, they want to turn that into a doorway because at the minute, the only way in is through that door and then sometimes through there. So what they want to do is cut a doorway into there, but there's a radiator on the other side. So we've got to go in, take a look, see how easy it's going to be is to move this radiator from underneath the door to another part of the shop. So let's go and have a look. So this is inside the shop, and that is where the doorway is going to go. As you can see, we've got that radiator behind it. Now, I did speak to Dan about when they renovated this and they had all the floorboards up, so it's easy enough to get the floorboards up to try and run some pipes over to this corner here, because they want to move this rad from there into that alcove. So as you can see here, the boards in the floor have been up at some point, so I'm hoping we can get that up, connect onto the pipes coming this way, and just basically send them that way and get the rad on that wall there. Now, I know this whole system is on 2 boilers. Bearing in mind, it's about 3 stories high, loads and loads of rooms. You've obviously got this one here, all in here. There's a restaurant through there, bar through there, toilets, 5 or 6 guest rooms upstairs. So turning the heating off and then cutting into it is going to be a bit of a challenge. Now, the idea that I'm thinking is get the floor up, see what we've got, and then take the pressure off the system, cut the pipe work, and put 2 full bore isolation valves under there, and then we can work from that and work straight over to where that rad's got to go there. So this is the first time I've seen this. I just thought I'd pop over, have a look, literally as I've spoke to you about it. That's the thought process behind how I think we're going to do it, because I think in a week's time, they're going to cut that out and put a door in here. So yeah, that'll be the way. Pop that up, take the pressure off the system, cut it. And also, because if there is water in it, being on the ground floor, I know there's no basement or anything here, we can let that little bit of water go while we chuck a full flow isolation valve on it and connect on. So I think that is the way we're going to go. And then obviously hook 2 pipes across and refit the rad over on there. Sounds easy, doesn't it? So that'll be probably a couple of weeks' time we'll get that done. But I just thought, as I was passing, I thought I'd stick my head in, have a quick look, and take you along with it. Let me know in the comments below if you'd done that a different way. Say it's 3 stories. I dare say on the system there's probably 30 odd radiators. The other way would be to freeze it. We could freeze the pipes and do it that way. But I think taking the pressure off and just cutting it and snatching it. I have got a pipe freezing kit somewhere. I'll see if I can find it just to have as a backup. Just stuck my head into the boiler room. How neat is this? This looks really good. Take away from that bit, let's not look there, because it is a lot of plastic going onto copper, but it is what it is. But this looks spot on. Now the good thing with this is everything is labelled. Office flow and return, hotel flow and return, cylinder flow and return, and the good thing is what we want is ground floor flow and return. So when we come to do the work on that rad, all we're going to have to do is shut these 2 valves, and because we're shutting them 2 valves off, it should cause a bit of a vacuum in the system. What I'll do is put that rad on that wall, pipe it round, and then when we come to connect into it, shut them 2 off, cut the pipe, and with that off, we shouldn't get that much water out of it anyway. Pop 2 connections on there. We'll use press fit because it'd be a lot easier to just get on there, connect it in, and then come in here, open it back up, so we don't have to lose all the system just to do that rad. So that, when I seen that just now, I was like, get in. So that's going to save a lot of hassle when we do that rad. And that is why it's so handy, if you can, to have a look at a job before you go and do it. For the 20 minutes it's took me to come over here, look at that, at least I know the night before you're not going to be sat at home going, oh, I've got that nightmare job. But that is a godsend, having them valves on that.